I think that the simplest epiphanies, revelations, like mind-opening, soul-opening things that I've encountered are when the thing is right in front of you. It's just you haven't spun it the right way to see it. You know what I mean? And everything you were saying, when it's almost like when the light turns on, you just say, "Oh my gosh, it's been right in front of me the whole." Because what you stated was like, you didn't come with this whole, well, let's look at this equation and let's get scientific on this and let's look at the financial. It was just like, we just got to juxtaposition slightly here. You know what I mean? And at revolution, and that's what I think you can experience in so many different areas of life. But that is such a simple revelation. You know, that's how I would see it. But it takes wisdom, and it takes hearing, and it takes an understanding to be able to get there. You know, I don't know if this is. Nobody has any idea what I'm talking about, but I'm not in podcast. I'm just going back to that.
Building the momentum before it launches, you know, whether it's a plane or whether it's like 88 miles an hour, the flux capacitor, and then it just explodes and goes.
It's like there's got to be the laws of attraction in here somewhere.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, whatever you chase runs from you. If you're chasing it, it's because it's running from you. If you're not running, then something can come to you, right? So it's like, you know, why, you know, how did they get to you? Why did they come to you? Like, you weren't chasing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you have not heard of the laws of attraction? I mean, I think it has to do with more romantic, but
no, I've heard the phrase. I didn't.
How does it relate?
I hadn't heard that whatever you're chasing is running from you.
Well, how are you chasing it?
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I hadn't heard it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like chasing money. It's running from you. What are you doing? You're chasing a relationship. You're chasing a romantic relationship. There's the person running. Why are you chasing? The law of attraction is be, and what is attracted will come. And so it's like, I mean, maybe that even trickles into many areas of life, even songs or ideas or whatever. If you're trying to chase something,
totally does. I mean,
yeah.
I think we've been talking about that a lot.
We have. I guess it's just the language, you know.
Yeah, that's. I think we're just gonna have lawnmower noise.
I can't even hear you.
What's your name? No.
Yeah, they'll do like 2 or 3 passes right outside the door.
It's funny because every time I hear that when I'm in here, I'm always trying to remember where the grass is. I'm like, is there grass there?
Just 2 strips.
I'm like, is there even?
It can't take more than 2 strips.
I'm like, is there even grass?
Their schedule has them mowing this at 10:30
on Tuesdays.
And they didn't book the resource and planning center.
As a side note, I meant what I said yesterday in the directors meeting. I hope that didn't. Well, I don't hope. I hope I expressed it well, but I just appreciate the mature perspective on the gospel and on the good news, and just a lot of that is refreshing. I don't know that everybody's even ready for that. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Some people.
Well, we were talking. Are you talking about in the meeting? We were talking about.
Well, in the meeting, yeah. Well, when I referenced,
we were talking about the email and the approach as to.
But
how our focus is on, right?
But I was just doing like an aerial perspective of.
Right, but that was the context in which you were.
So if we go to Jesus feeding the 5,000, when he fed them, they were all satiated. There was extra food, and then the disciples were like, "Hey, man, they're following us." He's like, "Just, it's okay. They're gonna go home." because they're following us because they're just going to they're just expecting that I'm going to continue to multiply loaves and fish every day. So they're following me for the physical food. Some people weren't ready for the actual maturity of the kingdom that Jesus could communicate and reveal. They were more after the daily bread, the fish and the loaves, right? So I think what I'm saying is some people aren't ready for a mature perspective of the gospel and of the good news and of what should be said and what shouldn't be said. Does that make sense?
Yeah, John 6:66. From that time on, many turned away and didn't follow him anymore, something like that. I mean, but it's
right where they were like,
we'll make that a memory verse in a series soon.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but yeah. So I think that's what I'm saying when I say some people aren't ready for.
It's cool that it's 666.
Is it? When you said John 6:66, I'm like, I didn't even know there was a
Yes.
chapter with 66 verses.
Yeah.
In it.
So John 6 is the feeding of the five. It's after the feeding of the 5,000, where Jesus talks about He is the bread of life. And
Yeah.
His body, His flesh is bread. Unless you eat of my body and drink of my blood, you have no part in me.
Right.
From that moment on, many turned away and refused and didn't follow Him anymore.
They're like, oh, he wants us to eat his body. We were just looking for that free bread.
Well, possibly, but there was a beyond like weird cannibalism vibes, which probably wasn't what they were picking up on. It was probably more the shift away from temple-centric worship and what they'd always known and what they were wanting to go back to, because they were wanting a revolt to reclaim their heritage and their nation the way that it had been. And Jesus was essentially saying, no, it's all going to change.
So this goes back to the Samaritan woman at the well, where it's like, where are we supposed to worship?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Jesus said
Mountain,
the time is coming
Or
where
in
the true
Jerusalem.
worshipers will worship me in spirit and in truth.
Right.
That's also John.
Yeah, John 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely that. I think there was a major component of that they were coming out. You know, they saw their opportunity. John the Baptist had been beheaded, so this is our chance. We can really rally the troops. People are mad. If God's on our side, we're righteous. This is right. This king's obviously horrible.
Right.
So let's go get Jesus to be our guy to get back what we want.
Right.
And Jesus is like, no, that's not what I'm here to do. And it's all going to change.
And then you get the disciples in between saying,
I don't know what's going on.
And then isn't it right after that where Jesus, he withdraws, but he sends the disciples across the water, right, to Capernaum or whatever.
Right before,
and that's where Jesus appears on the water
right
with Peter.
He walks on the water. Right. So I think he feeds the 5,000.
He tells the disciples to go. He goes off by himself.
He walks on water that night, and then the next day
they meet him on the other side.
And that's where he talks about in John 6.
Exactly, yeah.
So it is all together.
Yeah. When you were talking about chasing after what you're running, I don't know why this came to mind. In real quick, just to preface, you had mentioned it applies to all things, right? And so, from a spiritual context of the believer, where there's this constant pursuit to be the man or the woman that God wants you to be, and as opposing to, that God knows and loves you right now, you are a man and woman of God, and he actually likes you. But if you're running after something that you're never going to attain, because in your mind it means this or that, or that you just can't, and you're chasing it, you're never going to get there.
Right.
But what's the beautiful thing about the law of attraction is what we really have is God and everything that he's called us to be has come for us and is running to us. And that is beautiful. That is intimate. That is romantic. That is everything. That is abundant. That is freeing.
Yeah.
That love has already been running towards you and already present. And you are, when you receive Christ and you know him and you are in relationship, you belong to him, and that you are now who he's called you to be.
He came to us.
Stop running.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just from the standpoint from the point you were making about chasing and running, I was like, man, we all chase this version of something that God didn't create.
You never catch it.
us.
It just keeps just keeps moving away from you.
Yeah,
While we were dying in our sin, Christ came.
you can live for Him, and you live with Him, and so that you can live for Him now.
Yeah, like what if people could understand who they actually are?
Right.
Because when you know who you are, you'll know what to do. So if your true identity is in Jesus and His Spirit dwelling inside of you, and He's transforming you from the inside out, then you are godly. So we're not chasing godliness.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we are, and so it's such an interesting thing because like holiness, because the Scripture says without holiness no one will see the Lord, and so. But the idea of being holy is to be set apart for a special purpose. But all the holiness preaching out there that I've ever encountered really focuses on what not to do.
How to be holy.
Don't do these things.
Yeah.
It's a list of things not to do. And if you don't do these things, then you're holy. When the concept of holiness is all about being and living that identity out. So to be set apart for a special purpose and then living out that special purpose.
Right.
And it's not about not doing things.
Right,
It's such a weird perversion. So like not doing things, bad things, that doesn't help anybody see the Lord.
Right.
But living out the identity that we have, they can see Christ in you. And the expression of that, they see love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control in you. So they're able to experience God in flesh, just like we experience God in flesh through Jesus. Now he is in us, and so this is His plan to reveal Himself to your world. It's a good plan.
Yeah, I love that, because many would ask, well, how do I live it out? He's in you. Know Him, love Him, learn of Him. He is your righteousness that oozes out. Let Him move through you and follow Him and obey Him.
There has, yeah. I was going to just say there's an intrinsic need for value, and what we learn, and this is the great deception, is it's what we're taught. Maybe it's how we're predisposed, because without this connection, without this relationship, the only thing to do is perform. The only way to survive in the world we live in is just to perform. Whether it's, in your vocation, in your relationships, like whatever it is, like you have to deliver something for people to like you and to accept you and to
discover your value.
And you're constantly working to earn this respect and this validation that's external, but even internal, because peace is from within, right? He is our peace. And so when we know Him and when He is in us and we're walking in relationship with Jesus, He becomes the peace inside of us that, like you said, oozes out, I guess. That people, we experience it first, and then those around us would say, what is this? Why is this? It's a peculiar peace. It's like a peace that doesn't make sense. Why are you calm? Why are you at rest? Why is your soul at rest? But I mean, we're hardwired almost to perform and to achieve. Yeah. And I think that's the pivotal moment for anybody. I know even for me personally, but like getting past the need to perform, and how do you do that?
I believe God is real and I believe in Jesus. Now, how do I go about attaining again?
Right. It all becomes, now I need to earn something here.
My mom used to tell us when we were younger, she would say to me, Daniel, God cares first about who you are before He does about what you do. And to your point, it's all about identity.
Right.
And knowing who you are in Christ Jesus, that you belong to Him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's both. So we're not diminishing the importance of activity. just
Sure.
allowing identity to drive activity.
Exactly.
Instead of activity to drive identity. Because it's like if you ask somebody to describe who they are, like, tell me about yourself. Usually, if you're talking to an adult, they're very early in the conversation, they're going to tell you what they do for a living.
Right.
You know, how they make income.
This is who I am.
Yeah, well, because they're allowing activity to drive
Their value.
identity.
Yeah, identity.
Right.
This, I am this. Which there is some truth in that. Like if you're talking to meeting somebody and you're like, tell me about yourself, and you're like, well, I'm a plumber, and you know, you're talking to them and you're like, well, tell me about, like, what kind of plumbing do you do? Do you do commercial plumbing? No. Do you do residential plumbing? Not really. Like, I mean, you work primarily on bathrooms? No. Sink, you know, and you start talking to them and they know a lot about plumbing, but they don't do any plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a plumber.
Right.
So
I feel like that about golfers.
golfers do that all the time. So, like,
You
I'm
know,
a golfer, but
I'm a golfer,
I watch
but-
golf videos. I read golf magazines.
I own some clubs.
And I play in my jeans on Saturday morning.
But I don't actually play golf. You know, so
Yeah.
it doesn't.
You're not a golf player.
It doesn't make sense to, like, people don't typically do that, like, with the job. They don't, you know, I have an affinity for plumbing and therefore I'm a plumber. No, you know, I've read books about water, that makes me a plumber.
I have a sink at home.
I have a sink, yeah, that, you know, one time I unclogged.
Right.
So they don't identify that way. But, like, as far as Christ goes and in a relationship with him, like, sometimes, like, oh, I have an affinity for Jesus and some spiritual things and, you know, maybe the Bible and, you know, some of these things that are adjacent to what I think Christianity might be. That's not a real identity, you know, until if it is your identity, then you will see activity that matches that identity. So I guess all I'm trying to say is, like, we can kind of get on extremes on both sides of it. It is all about being, absolutely, and then being is what drives the activity.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure, you know, you get the right order here.
You're reminding me of when Jesus said to his disciples, who do people say I am? And immediately the responses were based on his activity. You know, it was like, well, some say you're a prophet, well, because, you know, he could prophesy. Some say you're, you know, Elijah, or, you know, because he was healing, right? So the activity he was doing was driving people's perception of who they thought he was. And then he said, well, who do you say I am? And it was Peter,
You're the Christ
the Son of the living God.
Christ, the Son of the living God. And it was like, because of who he is, that was why the activity was happening. And then he said, blessed are you, you know, Simon Peter. It was because, like, God's revealed this to you. You know, this is not, because if you're thinking in your natural mind, you're going to say what everybody else is saying. You're going to look at my activity and decide my identity. But my identity is rooted in who I am. You know, that's good.
So being is better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an important thing. Being is better, because that will drive up. Doing that matches the identity, which then there is a very full, fulfilled life that has meaning and purpose and produces lasting fruit. But start with being.
That also helps to alleviate the guilt that even comes with being fulfilled. You know, sometimes it's like, I mean, I feel very fulfilled and very joyful when we're making music, when we're, you know, trying to come up with melodies and songs, and just even the context of what Shiloh is doing, Shiloh Battles, the piece within. So it's, you know, there's an indication to me, based on what we were just talking about as far as identity, that there's a big part of who we were created to be happening. That there's a big part of being. There's not a lot of doing. We are doing, but we're doing out of the being, you know, not to get convoluted, but there's a big part of me that feels like this is being right now, you know, when we're coming together and working on songs and I don't feel forced to do that, you know, and there's joy in that.
Could be songwriters and not just write a song.
Gotta get those edges.
Do you guys hear that, or is that in my head?
Hear what, Dan? That tinnitus.
Vertigo.
All right, what did you say? You can be what? Be songwriters? I didn't hear it.
I said, from a standpoint of identity, you could be songwriters, or you can just try to write a song.
Yeah.
Or just, you know, and there's a being with being a songwriter. You're in the practice of writing and being creative and taking everything into consideration and communication, and you know,
I write
and you're
songs
working
even
with
when
it.
I don't want to write songs.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
It's who you
I
are.
want to do this, and I wind up speaking in lyrics sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be obnoxious to people. Like, you know, they're like, that's a pretty good lyric. I probably should write that down somewhere
Yeah.
just in case I want it later.
Yeah, I mean, I can do golf, but I'm not a golfer. You know what I mean? I could buy the bag and go walk the course and hit the ball, but it's not coming from my soul.
Yeah, I think a golf player like isn't limited to just playing rounds on a course whenever they're invited on a random occasion. They practice.
Well, they're
they'll go
either
to the
sleeping,
range.
they're
They'll go ahead and
thinking
hit a
it.
little ball in a little hole, you know, 100 times.
Speaking of this, I did throw you into a tea time at 7:50 on Thursday if you're available.
This Thursday.
Yeah, just letting you know. You know, you don't have to make it.
Let's talk about it. Let's make sure we just cut to Dan during this moment. He's
Right
like,
on.
let me think.
no pressure. I mean, I can take you out. But
No pressure. We're live. Are you golfing Thursday?
I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to. I want to.
Are you a golfer? Or do you do golf?
No, I would say I'm a golfer,
Okay,
golf
yeah.
player. You know, I went to the range a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, not having played golf for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you know, just like, so
Shake
I
it
haven't
off.
been, this month's been a little different, but I've been to the range and, you know, in conversation about booking the tee time next
Mm-hmm.
week. And so, but I also I'll watch the content, and I'll watch the practicing, you know, the techniques and stuff.
It's in
and,
you, yeah. It's in
yeah, I'll
you.
watch the game. You know, so I'm in it, and
Yeah.
I just haven't. But yeah, I enjoy going on and off the course and
Yeah.
working on stuff.
You're not a golfer.
And I'm decent at golf. But Bo, you play and practice.
I don't practice.
Often. You don't practice.
I haven't been to the range at all.
Ever.
Like, I go to the tee box and hit the ball
There you go. He's in a
because
rhythm.
I don't actually
He's in a rhythm.
know how to play. So if I go, if I practice, all I'm doing is reinforcing
Bad habits?
bad habits. I'm
Just for the
practicing bad
record,
things.
Bo is what are you, a 7 handicap?
8.
You're an 8 handicap, so you had a bad day recently or the last couple of rounds? Or
That's where I am right now.
Oh, okay. Well, you're an 8 handicap who, you know, but the course has become your
Well, I go there a lot. Yeah,
your practice.
Yeah, I like
and
people.
yeah.
I like people who I walk around and talk to way more than I like golf. But I
Yeah.
like being outside and I like people, so I play golf.
It marries those two.
And I just happen to be really good at everything I do.
Ah,
There it is. There it is.
if it involves, well, yeah, you've always been athletic, so sports are a thing for you, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sports. Yeah, love sports. Well, my thing with sports, I don't know. Since we're talking about me right now, this is not the More of That podcast. It's the
more of you.
me. Yeah, the More of Bo podcast. This isn't. I think an interesting thing is like with sports or any game, I catch on really fast. And I love. That's why I love to invent games, new games. I love to make new games like wiffle hole.
Wiffle hole.
Wiffle
Well,
hole.
eye hand coordination games, especially.
Yeah, anything that involves some athletic movement and strategy. I love to invent new
A chance
ones.
at winning.
Well, I love to win.
Yeah, right.
But what I'm good at is figuring things out maybe faster than other people. So I figure out strategy and how to do it. And then once other people catch on to the strategy, they get better
Right.
maybe at that, but I'm bored with it at that point.
Right.
So I don't want to hone the skill to get better at it. Now I want to invent a new game.
Right.
Or find a new thing to play. You know, so like axe throwing. The first time I threw axes and
I found that to be really easy.
well, I did too. I
Super easy.
threw axes in Alaska 25 years ago, and just at a guy's house. It was hatchet throwing, and I got my hatchet.
Like you do.
I got my hatchet. He sent it back with me.
Is that it?
Here's my Alaska hatchet.
Alaska
There you
hatchet.
go.
Alaska hatchet, right?
You're
You're
a
a
Saskatchewan?
frontier down on
yeah.
Orange.
So I was
Sitka?
was with a group of people, and I was really just really good at it. So the owner of the house had the hatchet sent to me because it was
Like a gift.
like a gift,
Like a war gift.
Yeah, here you're the champion hatchet thrower.
The duct tape on it is hiding the blood from the bear that you had a bout with.
We were very close to bears and eagles, but so now that like there's hatchet throwing in bars and I have no desire to go hatchet, like none.
You've already
whatsoever.
scratched that itch 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's been done.
Yeah.
You know, so and I don't want to go and like be in a hatchet throwing competition.
Well, here's another example. When in our early years of ministry, going back, we've been serving together for almost 15 years, right? But soon after that, we started playing tennis.
Oh yeah.
Had you played much tennis prior to that? Because I mean, I know I played in high school and played recreationally for a long time. But had you played tennis before that? Because that's another game where, I mean, you did well and accelerated pretty quickly. And
Yeah, I had played, some, and I'd done a couple of tennis camps, like in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
Like in the summer, like to the week-long tennis camp, and then
enough to be a ping pong player.
go out, yeah, and hit with, like my dad and I used to play together with someone when I was in high school, so I played
Okay.
tennis. I'm better at tennis than I am at golf, I think. Yeah.
Do you still play or no?
It's harder because it's like golf. You can play with anybody of any level. With tennis, the better
You need to
the
have
better you
people-
get.
yeah.
You need people who are close to your level, and they're out there. But it's just
Yeah, I got to find
Because
them.
you're playing against
Against,
them
yeah.
as opposed to alongside.
That's 1v1.
Separate games, essentially.
So like if I went out and played with somebody who, is new to the sport or not super athletic or whatever, well, it's not gonna be fun for them if I serve the way I can serve. They won't return the ball.
And that just kind of feels a certain kind of way.
And then you're like, well, I mean, you can still have a good time hitting the ball, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a competition at that point.
But they're
no,
gonna look
it's-
at
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it the hand-eye coordination, the physical activity of the sport, or is it the competition of the sport? Is it?
it's both and.
Yeah, it's a merit. I think it's like
Yeah.
in anything. It's like if you're good, like we like to do things we're good at.
Sure.
So you guys are good at music, and other things. But you're good at music, so you like to do that. And I was always looking for a way, since I'm not good at musical expressions, I was always looking for a way to be a part of that because I
Right.
like people who, I like people. I like people who are good at things, and that is talking about attractive.
Yep.
It's a drive. I see people who are like really good at something. I'm like, I want to be around them, but also to contribute.
Right. I've been told that I have really good hand-eye coordination, but I never excelled in sports. But certain sports.
Faders.
No, it wasn't just that. It was just like certain types of athletic things I would excel at. I was mediocre at sports, but
We more like chess or
A little checkers.
checkers.
Mainly.
Okay, there it is.
Mainly
yeah.
checkers. No, I mean, no, certain things, but yeah, no, I definitely competitive, but I didn't have that sports trajectory. So
I was golf, tennis, basketball, and street hockey.
yeah, I was all the inner city. Well, no, I was really good at hockey, actually. I was really good at street hockey. So yeah, actually, you just reminded me of that. We used to play a ton of street hockey. And when I played intramural hockey in high school, and I credit that to my father because he was good at hockey and he did not let us win when we were kids. It was like,
Yeah, our
it was like, Dad, why are you checking me across the court right now? You know, or he would, the stick lifts and all that stuff. He was like, and he was lefty, so it would get brutal on us. It would be the three of us, me and my two brothers versus him, and he would just destrominate us. Who says that? Is that a word?
That's our word.
That's our word. Yeah, he destrominated us. But I love that, and I did that to my son. I wouldn't let him beat me. I mean, now he can beat me, obviously, but I think that's important. I always feel awkward when I see dads letting their kids win.
Hard stance. Never let a kid win.
I don't like. I just
I mean, you don't have to be a jerk about it.
no.
And when they beat you, it's fine. Like my dad, like playing tennis with my dad. I mean, he used to like when I tossed the ball to serve, he'd squeak his shoe. I mean, he's dirty, or burp or something. And I'm like, come on. He's like, what?
He's just he's teaching you how to he's teaching you how to get through the gauntlet.
He's the guy in cat. He's the guy in oh my gosh, not cat. Not Oh my goodness!
Let's help you out.
The golf movie with Bill Murray.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, it is Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you said caddy and then you stopped. I was like Caddyshack.
Or oh no, it wasn't Caddyshack. It was Happy Gilmore, the guy that was like,
Oh.
Oh, the original. Oh, every time he goes to
and your
every time
back
he
swing,
goes to
someone's
swing.
yelling and
Yeah.
swearing.
No, I mean, but I think that's really important because when we would even score a point, like the level, a good father like that is actually setting you up for a better sense of victory. Because if you get a point, you know how hard you worked for that point. You've worked hard for that point, and it's like he would laugh. If we would get a goal, he would just be chuckling, and we'd be like, "Yeah!" We'd be like celebrating like it was, because we worked hard for it. So
Well, people need to learn how to lose.
yeah,
Like, come on.
Because you're out to win. So
Look,
people just
I
gotta
am
learn how to lose.
competitive. Like anybody who knows me well and knows I love to compete. But I lose way more often than I mean, I've lost so much in life. Like so much losing. At everything.
yeah.
I've lost financially. I've lost professionally. I've lost at everything. There's so much losing in life. And if you don't know how to lose,
Then you quit.
yeah, you don't do anything.
You just quit, yeah.
You stop trying.
You got to lose well.
Yeah, it's important. It's a good life skill. Learn how to lose.
Eat a little dirt and then get back up.
Yeah, try again. And then celebrate the little victories. It's cool.
And then now you're a liver,
Yeah.
one who lives.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
I've had like cirrhosis or something.
Yeah, I was like, wait. Now you're a liver.
Bo, you're winning. You're winning at life.
You're winning at losing well.
I'm the best loser who's ever lived.
You're too competitive. More of that.
I'm a loser, baby.
What, Beck?
Yeah.
I think maybe
Underrated.
hated. Maybe overhated more than underrated.
It might have been the haircut.
I think
Live
Devil's
performer?
Haircut.
Yeah. The little like.
Wasn't that his song too? Is that Beck? Devil's Haircut?
Yes. But live performers. I mean, really good. Beck.
Yeah, I think that's I'm into this thing, like overrated versus overhated. Like sometimes I think we recall people overrated when really they just may have been overhated.
Ooh, I feel a song coming
Or
out of that one.
underrated, yeah, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Overhated, underrated.
yeah, like because there are some people who are that's what I was trying to get at. Like some people we might say are underrated, and they probably weren't. They had a lot of commercial success. They were just overhated.
Creed.
Are you rhyming over here?
No, I'm saying what Creed was probably overhated,
Oh, Creed.
No, well,
right?
I thought you said created. You said Creed.
I said Creed. Well, because you said people that were you thought were overrated, they were probably just overhated.
Nickelback.
Maybe I don't know that you can overhate Nickelback.
Am I turning into Nickelback if this just gets gray?
Everybody's enjoying it when they're not around others. I don't know.
No, that's the thing. That's what's it's so maddening. Like if you're just minding, like you're mindlessly driving, and I mean, like I've legitimately stopped listening to certain radio stations out of fear that a Nickelback song would come on, and I don't catch it fast enough, and then I'm head bobbing and I'm singing along to it. I'm like, oh my god, this is Nickelback, because it's never going to leave my head, you know, and I'm stuck with it. There's some kind of sorcery or witchcraft.
It haunts you
with their sound. It's like I don't.
Drop D.
You can't get
Now you're
rid
just
of it.
driving down the road and you're like, never made it as a wise man.
Why am I? I don't know why I'm grunting.
Nickelback.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're overrated.
I
don't think they're underrated.
I just
Maybe
know
They're
them.
underhated.
I know them too.
They're underrated. There, you found me a fourth category. Thanks.
Yes.
Dan. Underrated.
Underhated. Overrated, overhated, and underhated. You'll write a song about it.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Coming to
I'm not overrated.
chorus near
I'm just
you.
underhated. Getting activated.
Outdated.
This is outdated.
I'm winning at life.
That's the chorus.
That's the chorus.
Winning
I'm
at life.
Overhated, underrated, winning at life.